The following podcast contains spoilers and words like and gosh. Mate, did we watch a thing this week?
Yeah, we did. Billy, you ape, you want to live forever?
That's not how we're starting an episode, mate.
That's the start of the episode. We're on.
That's it? We're live? We're going?
We're on. We're going.
Okay, all right. Welcome to We Watched a Thing, I guess. I mean, I'm Billy. I'm here as always with Toph, and you seem in a jolly good mood tonight, buddy. Is that right?
Can you not be in a good mood if you've watched Starship Troopers? Come on.
Hey, how you been anyway, though, bud?
I'm fine. You know, same old.
Yeah, we had a bit of fun this week. We went live for our first time ever on the.
Yeah, we're only like 5 minutes late getting it to work.
Yeah, but we got it to work in the end, and it was good fun, I think. So we might do that again maybe next week or something. So if you want to follow along with that, I guess hop on our Facebook.
Yeah, or else.
Yeah. But this week, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Starship Troopers, a 1997 American satirical military science fiction action film directed by Paul Verhoeven and written by Edward Newmere. It stars Casper Van Dien, Dina Meyer, Denise Richards, Jake Busey, Neil Patrick Harris, Patrick Muldoon, and Michael Ironside. And what is it about, Toph?
Well, not what I thought it was about in 1997.
Okay, so is this the first time you've watched it since 97?
No, certainly not. I've watched this film just a lot.
I know I saw it a long time ago, but I do think it's been at least 15 years. And so thinking back to me 15 years ago, there are a few things I remember. I remember the co-ed shower scene and
sure.
Not a lot else. I remember Bugs getting shot at, but yeah, I could not have told you what this movie was about.
I went through a period in like the first few years of this century where it was not uncommon for me and a few friends that if it was, you know, it had gotten quite late. Sobriety was a long way behind us, and there'd come a point in the evening where this was one of like there was a core group of films. I'm talking like probably 3 or 4 films that were like at some point in the evening. And by evening, I mean morning, someone would say, let's put on fucking Starship Troopers. And at that point in time, our relationship to it was exactly what you think a bunch of drunk guys' relationship to this film was. And then at some point, I don't know when, but at some point, probably maybe sober rather than hammered, I watched it again and was like, oh, wait. This film's not what I thought it was.
So it's been a while since we've done an official quote-unquote throwback episode, but I guess that's what this is, yeah? This is a Topher throwback.
Well, actually, it was meant to be a Beth throwback.
So is that how this came about? Because a little bit of behind the curtains here, I genuinely have no idea why we're watching this film this week.
Because it's fucking Starship Troopers.
So is that so? You and Beth were just messaging and were like, "We should watch Starship Troopers," and that's how this came about. And then Beth decided to ditch us.
No, months ago, Beth had said that when she got a choice for an episode she was on, it was going to be Starship Troopers, and I was like, and we needed something to do this week, and I was like, all right, it's on,
okay,
we're doing it. Well, and then she was like, yeah, I'm not going to get to it. Doesn't
it feel kind of dirty doing this without Beth then?
Whatever.
Okay, so Starship Troopers. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I have to say, though, the first thing I noticed, these visual effects really hold up, man.
Yeah, like they're not... If you released it now, it's not winning an Oscar for visual effects because, yes, we've gotten better. But, like, and this is something I remember from 97. Like, when this came out, this was fucking amazing.
They're still very, very good, though. And it's not... I don't remember them being this good because, to me, I remember this being a pretty schlocky, over-the-top, not... One thing that doesn't stand out about Starship Troopers when you think about it is the filmmaking. You know, for starters, just think of the cast. Like, it's got Busey Jr. in it. You don't think of this as being a masterpiece of filmmaking.
The greatest family in cinema history.
But the visual effects really, really held up. When I was watching it the other night, I was like, this doesn't look that much worse
It's
than
pretty
something
like
that
the
could have come
bugs
out last year.
themselves are pretty good.
The bugs themselves, the explosions of bugs when they're shot, it's actually a pretty well put together film.
Well, like we're not in the hands of a of a noob here.
With Paul Verhoeven.
Like, yeah, it's fucking Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, and was nominated, of course, for visual effects. Only Oscar that it was nominated for and didn't win because it was the year of Titanic. But yeah, they really, really hold up.
Verhoeven, I read, did not finish the book that it's based on. In fact, like, barely started it. He got, like, a chapter in and was like, this is some right-wing bullshit, threw it away, and just said to the screenwriter, just tell me what it's about and we'll find a way to fuck him up and make it about the opposite thing. Because there was, like, when it came out in the years following, like, Verhoeven got criticized for making this movie that, like, glorifies a fascist state. And he's like, I grew up in an occupied country in the 40s. Is that what you think I did? You fucking idiot.
Well, here's a fun fact that I didn't know until I was reading about this. It was not originally based on the book Starship Troopers. It was a completely unrelated script called Bug Hunt at Outpost 9. And then,
Great title.
And then after the script was written, they licensed the name Starship Troopers from the novel and then kind of readapted the screenplay to be closer to the book. But it was completely unrelated originally.
Bug Hunt at Outpost 9 sounds like an Ed Wood film.
Oh, it totally does, doesn't it? Or like, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman or, The Giant Crab, like all those classic Roger Corman films. Yeah, so fun fact. I also had no idea that this was the start of a franchise. Did you know that there are 4 Starship Troopers films?
Yeah, I've never bothered.
Yeah, so this was the only one released theatrically. I had no idea that. I mean, honestly, it amazes me that this film was even released theatrically.
This film, God, I love the beginning of this film. The commercials,
yes,
playing for citizenship, and like right from the outset, this film is feeding you misinformation.
Yep,
which maybe teenage boys didn't realize in 1997 that you're being tricked. Much like the citizens of Earth.
Yeah. It's a funny film, man. Like, it's one of those few films that if someone asked you straight out, what genre is Starship Troopers, are you going to say sci-fi first up, or what are you going to say?
The first thing I'm going to say in a film that I think it's, at the time, I don't know if this still stands, but it was considered that this film had the most rounds of ammunition fired in any movie ever.
Yeah, okay.
It's hard to go past an action film.
Yeah.
But as you said in the intro, it's not just an action film.
No, I was... my memory of it is being very much action, but I was really struck this time by the elements of sci-fi that are there. It's very, very much sci-fi, and you can see it relating to other classic sci-fi films that tell similar stories in a lot of ways. And just how funny it is too. It's really funny.
It is a very funny film, and I mean, like there's plenty of sci-fi that deals with, okay, what happens if this kind of regime comes in? In Starship Troopers, we don't spend a lot of time with the regime, really. I can't even remember what they're called. Is it just it's the Federation, isn't it?
That sounds sci-fi-ish enough. Something like that.
It's like, what if these people got in? And Starship Troopers really is, it's set in a world where what if World War II went a different way, or just in, 100 years later, what if a similar thing happened and they won? And now this is how we live. And everyone thinks that because it's us, that we're the good guys. Like, the movie is set in Argentina, but it's a bunch of Caucasians.
Wait, is it really set in Argentina?
Well, when they're on Earth, they're in Buenos Aires, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just figured that was a name. I never made the connection that was like current day Buenos Aires.
Yeah, because my assumption is because they were conquered.
Wow. See, I just thought that Buenos Aires was the name of like a new, like an outpost or something. Can I tell you the truth? I never made the connection that they were even on Earth.
Look, maybe I'm wrong. I think they are on Earth, and I think it is.
I mean,
the BA that we know.
That would make sense. That would be logical, I guess.
Yeah. But that's where, like, Casper Van Dien, who is this Aryan-looking dude, who lives in Argentina apparently and doesn't stand out, who was cast quite intentionally as this, like, a caricature, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of an action star. Like, they were under no illusions as to how good a performer Casper Van Dien was.
Yes.
But they were just like, he is fucking perfect. That is our guy.
Well, let's talk about the performances. I would like I remember this being like a no-name cast, but I mean, Neil Patrick Harris pops up in this thing.
Yeah, Doogie's there, and at that point in time, that's what it was. It was like, holy shit, it's Doogie.
Yeah,
we didn't know his name.
Yeah. That was very surprising to me. Denise Richards, this must have been this was before Wild's thing, yeah? So this would have been kind of her introduction.
Yeah, is Wild Things 98?
I believe it was, yeah.
So yeah, probably our introduction to Richards. The other love interest who looks like she might be getting towards 40, but is in high school apparently.
Yeah, I thought it was Felicity. I was so sure that was, what's her name? Kerry Russell.
Yeah.
It's not her.
You just can't see past the hair.
Yeah, I guess.
I checked. She was like 29 when she made this.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I think most of them are like late 20s.
Yeah.
Playing high schoolers because, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I love, Jesus Christ, I love Dean Norris in his scenes in this film. Like, just born to play a military guy who gets to say the words live fire exercise. The way that he's... do you reckon it was even scripted that he was meant to say it more than once? He was just like, fuck it. I'm going again.
I mean...
I love it.
Do you think that much of this film was improvised? Because some of it does feel like a bad high school improvisation class.
I think you're giving a lot of credit to the cast. Clancy Brown, though, like, there's a lot of, hey, they're here.
Yeah.
Just picking up again on the live fire exercise. Watching it again this time. Who's running this place? The amount, like, there's people training in all directions. Like, they're not going to hit the target with every shot. There's actually, like, of course someone died. Yeah. There's no way you can run this exercise and not kill people. It can't be done. This fucking military school has a lot to answer for.
Yeah, they do. In fact, I was kind of a little bit in and out watching the film, and there were times I would come back and I would be like, oh, they're still at school. This isn't a real battle. Because, yeah, like you say, there's a lot of ammunition fired in the film. It does not.
Jesus,
it does not feel like effective schooling.
Fuck.
Should I cut that?
I fucking would, yes.
But you're not editing this week.
No. Here we go. Strap in. I like the fact that one of the good things in the schooling is that he cops 10 lashings. Like, basically, like, it's almost like in the public square.
Oh, yeah.
That our guy cops 10 lashings just to, like, reinforce that this is the kind of society you're in where, like, we've reverted to 10 lashings seems like a sensible thing to do. Like, no one's surprised by the fact that it happens.
Yeah.
It's just what happens. Like, and we see in another one of the kind of it's a news break that we see in the film that there's a murderer who's tried in one day, just as a really effective and incredibly efficient way of just telling us, like, the justice system in this society is an absolute joke if it even exists at all. I think I really like the way that this film informs you as to what society is like, even though we don't spend a lot of time out in, what might be considered the usual world.
Yeah. One thing I really found myself enjoying this time, more than even most of the rest of the movie, and you know this about me, I'm a soppy romantic. I liked the love story.
I think Diz is an absolute pest.
Yeah, I was feeling for Casper when he got the video letter from Denise breaking up with him, and like, I was like, oh man, that's so harsh, and all of his friends are there watching.
It's like the girl that he then, you think he's going to wind up with Diz, and then of course she gets fucking killed.
Yeah,
but like early on in the film, it's like, back off, Diz. Yeah. The guy is not single. Yeah. All he keeps doing is having a girlfriend and telling you he's not interested.
Yeah, they're literally like the two things he does. That and shoot.
Leave it alone, Diz. Then, so after all that stuff, we get into just what we might describe as just some fucking sick action. When they actually go to the planet P and just start blowing the shit out of stuff, that's where, and like, it's still, like, even though I've moved past, okay, wait, this is not the film I thought it was when I was a teenager, I still fucking love those scenes.
So, tell me then, what do you think is the difference between teenage Topher and now? Like, what do you see this film as now? Because to me, it feels very much the same as it did back then.
I didn't understand how funny it was. I didn't understand the commentary. I was just like, yeah, this is sick.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I wouldn't have got the fact that there's a shot where some planes come over and bomb the bugs on, I think it's on Planet P, which is like just a direct nod to Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Like, that would have gone completely over my head. And like, further, just like, what a great parallel to draw of what they have invaded Planet P. They are the invaders here. They actually get their asses kicked on Planet P.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many people die there, and then
more people than bugs.
Yeah, and then Diz gets a full military funeral just by herself.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting.
Fucking favoritism, mate.
Yeah, why is that?
Watching it this time, I was like, this is some absolute bullshit.
She's no more special than the rest of them.
The place was corpse central. Maybe she's the only... This could be true. She is actually the only corpse they got out.
Maybe.
Because that was a lot of attention for one person when they just had their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
Where are you on psychic abilities in this film?
I wouldn't say they're necessary for me.
No, I do not know what they're doing there.
And this is part of... Look, I think you're a lot more positive on this film than I am. I don't think this is the brilliant satire that a lot of people have come to claim it is. I think it's a fun action film, but I kind of think that's, for the most part, that's really the only level it hits me on. And even as far as that goes, I do think it's a little bit confused. As we spoke about earlier with all the different genres, I don't know that they always blend as well as they should. And there is a lot of... Like, this is... One thing I will say that I had forgotten how long this film was. If you had asked me how long is Starship Troopers, I would have said under 2 hours for sure. But it's like knocking on the door of 2.5 hours, and that is way...
No, it's not. It's 2 hours 9.
Well, that's way too long for this movie.
That's not knocking on the door of 2.5.
All I'll tell you is it's way too long. There's no reason for this movie to be over, honestly, 70 minutes, and I would have been fine with this film.
If anything, it should probably be longer. There should be more Michael Ironside.
Nah.
Definitely more Michael Ironside. Definitely probably more Seth Gilliam, a pre-The Wire Seth. Fuck yeah, come at me.
And I do think that there's a lot of things like the random telekinesis that I'm not here for.
Yeah, that can go away. I'm not here for the psychic stuff. It's just what is that doing here?
Yeah.
Really.
Because it's not established anywhere else in the world. And the world, as you say at some other points, it tries to be quite grounded, I guess. I mean, that sounds like a stupid word to use in a film like Starship Troopers, but it does try to draw parallels to real events and stuff. So then when you bring something like that in, for me, it just breaks any kind of satire that was there.
Yeah, it's silly. It's no good.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. I think maybe the only thing that struck me when I first saw this film, where I was like, okay, that's weird, is when they capture the brain bug and Doogie Howser goes up to it and uses, this is where, like, if you can come up with a good excuse for the psychic abilities, it's this scene where Doogie Howser goes up to it, puts his hand on it, and says, and kind of mutters to himself that it's afraid, and then yells out triumphantly, "It's afraid," and everyone goes ballistic cheering.
Yeah.
And even from the first time, I was like, that's rough. Like, fucking hell, you've got the thing in a net.
Yeah. Of course it's afraid. Are you going to wait for it to piss its pants?
Yeah. And these people are just they've got this thing captive and they're just rejoicing that of course it's fucking afraid.
Yeah.
So best argument for psychic abilities, that scene, which is really good. Also because, like, by that point in the film, Doogie, like, they've literally just put him in an SS uniform.
Yeah.
The costumes in this film are fucking great. Like, the uniforms of the grunts are awesome. Everything is brilliant.
Yeah, I actually think the production design, like I said at the start, is really quite strong. I think this looks, I'm not going to say as good as a Star Wars, but it's kind of, it's close for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and then it just, like I was saying, it just ramps it up throughout the film until by the end, it's like, look, just in case you're not getting this, he's a Nazi. And everyone you've been cheering for this whole time, Nazis.
Yeah.
How do you feel now, audience? And I was like, fucking sick! When I was a teenager. Let me clarify that. I wasn't a Nazi as a teenager.
No, not as a teenager. No, that happened later in life.
Really need to establish that I'm not now, nor have I ever been a Nazi.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna cut that bit out. I'm just gonna. I can edit those words around so that it says that you are a Nazi.
Yeah. I mean, you probably think that my view of Sphere and Tommy Boy alone,
well, that's fascism.
Put me in that category.
Yes. You should rewatch Sphere, buddy.
Not gonna happen.
I did it last week, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. No, that's a hard pass there. Further comedic genius in this film, the in inverted commas scientists, once they have the brain bug, the probe they use. Oh my god. It's a fucking giant corkscrew. It's awesome. Just this thwack as it goes, like, all right, how do we, in a really scientific manner, how are we going to approach this? I know. Fucking corkscrew it in the side. Brilliant. Oh, fuck, this movie's great.
Isn't it weird now to think that the director of this film was born in 1938?
Yeah.
Like, he's an old...
Yeah, it's a really old dude.
He's an old man making a film like this. I wish that I have this kind of sense of fun when I'm that age. I barely have that kind of sense of fun at this age. I spend most of my day griping about various inconveniences.
You really do.
I do. I've complained to you twice in the last 2 days about you making my dinner cold, when really that's my fault.
And you have dinner, mate.
Yeah, that's
Some
right.
people don't.
That's right.
Probably plenty of people that the Federation killed on their way to power. You're doing better than them. Are you about done on Starship Troopers?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. How are you scoring it?
Fuck, this is such a good film. 8 out of 10.
Wow. What are you doing? What, I don't understand you sometimes. You have this whole thing about, oh, well, I can't give it a 10 because it's not Lawrence of Arabia. But you're giving this the same score that you have given some genuinely really, really, really good movies.
Yeah, because this thing's fucking genius. It's awesome.
I'm a 6.
I'm not giving it a 10. You're right. It's not Lawrence of Arabia, but it's fucking good.
I'm a 6. I have fun with this film. I don't have the same amount of love for it as other people do, but it's a bit of fun. Throw on, have a laugh. But for me, that's kind of where it ends.
It's good for all seasons. You want to think about it a bit, it works for that. If you want to get absolutely bombed out of your skull and then watch it, it definitely works for that.
All right. What are we getting to next week, buddy?
Next week, we're on to a patron request.
Yes.
We will be watching a film that we didn't do for the show, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. This must be our most modern patron request, would it not be?
That sounds right.
Like, I certainly don't think we've had a patron request that's actually come out during the course of the show.
Year, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I've seen it a couple of times, and I really, really, spoiler alert, like that movie. So that should be a fun discussion. Cool. All right. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at wewatchedathing.com or wewatchedathing@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under the handle at wewatchedathing. If you want to help support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/wewatchedathing and tell us something we should watch, get bonus episodes and early access to episodes. And if you want to join in with our next Facebook live stream and ask some questions, watch along, you can do that at our Facebook page. So hope to see you there. In the meantime, go watch a movie.
Have fun, y'all.